You have a story inside you, a message the world desperately needs to hear, but every time you sit down to write, it feels like absolute torture. You stare at the blank page, your mind glows completely blank, and then all of a sudden, laundry seems more appealing than writing. If this sounds familiar, I need you to know something. You are not broken, your dream is not hopeless, and the resistance you're feeling, it doesn't mean that you're not meant to be an author. Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm a book coach, ghostwriter, and self publishing consultant. I help women finally write and self publish the book that's been on their heart with strategy, consistency, and confidence. Here's what I've learned after writing my first book and working with first time authors. Writing doesn't have to feel like punishment. In fact, when you find the right approach for your unique brain and lifestyle, writing can become something that you actually look forward to. By the end of this video, you're going to have 6 proven strategies that will transform writing from a dreaded chore into something that energizes and excites you. So grab your favorite drink, get comfortable, and let's dig in. Let's start with the most important strategy: reconnecting with your why. Writing feels like a chore when we lose sight of why we're writing in the first place. And I'm not talking about surface level reasons such as I want to write a book because I want to be an author, I want to check it off of my list. No, I'm referring to your soul deep why. The reason that makes you feel a little bit emotional when you think about it. So, right now, I want you to think about these questions. Who will be impacted by your message? What transformation will your book create in someone's life? What will happen if your story never made it into the world? Maybe you're writing about addiction and there's a woman out there who needs to know that recovery is possible. Maybe you're sharing about your entrepreneurship journey and there's someone out there right now who needs that boost of confidence and courage to take the leap. Maybe you're writing about faith and your words are exactly what someone needs to find hope again. When you connect to that deeper purpose and you remember that your book isn't just about you, it is about the lives that you're going to change. Suddenly, sitting down to write doesn't feel like work anymore. It feels like a calling. Here's something that might surprise you: there's no right time to write. You have to find your natural writing rhythm. This is strategy number 2. You've probably read articles that say successful writers start writing at 5 a.m., or that the best writing happens late at night when everything is quiet. But here's the truth: everyone has different peak creative times and energy levels. Some people are sharpest at 6 a.m., but by time 2 p.m. comes around, they shut down. Others don't even feel human before 10 a.m., but then come 9 p.m., their mind is firing on all cylinders. Finding your natural writing rhythm isn't just about the time of day. Do you write better after you've had social interaction? Or are you someone who needs complete solitude and time to decompress? Are you more creative on the weekends when you're more relaxed? Or maybe weekdays work better because you're in a structured mindset. The key here is to experiment. Try writing at different times for a week and pay attention to when your words flow most easily. Take note of when you feel most connected to your message and when writing actually feels natural instead of forced. Track this, write it down, because once you identify your natural rhythm, writing becomes so much easier and feels less like a chore. This next strategy is one of my absolute favorites and is a game changer. Romanticize your writing sessions. What I mean by this is transform writing from work into something special that you look forward to. Make it your own personal retreat time. Let's start with your physical environment. Find a quiet space that feels comfortable to you. Maybe it's a corner in your bedroom with a comfortable chair and great lighting. Maybe it's your kitchen table in the morning when everybody's still asleep. Once you find your space, set the mood. Light a candle, put on some background music. Instrumental is perfect because you don't have lyrics to distract you from your thoughts. I personally enjoy lo-fi, smooth jazz, and sometimes even classical music. Think about what will make this experience feel luxurious and special. Treat yourself to a new journal and pen. Pour a cup of your favorite tea or coffee. Lay out some healthy snacks, fruits, nuts, foods that will keep your energy up without the crash. Here's another powerful technique. Create a pre-writing ritual. Before you sit down to write, go for a walk outside. It will help get your creative juices flowing. do some light stretching, go to the gym, lift some weights. Or you can read a chapter from a book in your genre to get your brain in the writing mindset. Test it out and see what pre-writing ritual works for you. One more thing I want to mention when it comes to this particular strategy is don't underestimate how powerful your surroundings are. Some of my most creative writing sessions have happened when I was in new places. There's something about fresh scenery that unlocks new ideas. To date, I've written some of my best stories when I was overseas. To be clear, I'm not telling you to travel to write your book. You certainly can, and that does help. But think about how you can switch up your scenery every day. You can head to a coffee shop. You can go to the park. If you're near a beach or a lake, you can go there and write. Or you can sit in your backyard. The point is to switch up the scene and see what works for you, so play around with it. The goal is to make writing feel like a treat and not a punishment. When you create this type of atmosphere, your brain starts to associate writing with pleasure instead of stress. Now, let's talk about something that might completely change your perspective. Let's redefine what writing a book actually means. Most of us have this image of what writing looks like: hunched over at a desk, typing away for hours. But what if I told you that that's just one way to write a book and it might not even be your way? Here's the truth. Everyone has different natural communication styles. The goal is getting your ideas out of your head and into the world, not suffering through a specific method. For example, I process my thoughts better when I have a physical pen and paper in my hand. I write my books, I write my articles. I pretty much write everything with pen and paper first before it even touches a computer. There's something about the physical act of writing that sparks something in my brain and allows my thoughts to flow easier. And sometimes all of my ideas just come rushing through. So now I'm trying to keep up with the creativity that's flowing. And that's a good problem for me to have. And then there are times when I ditch my notebook, I ditch my pen, and I say, I'm just going to go in and start typing away on my computer. Now, all of a sudden, I get writer's block. You know what it reminds me of? It's like one of those episodes in a sitcom where the character lands a solo singing part in the performance and they're ecstatic, right? They practice for weeks for this big moment. They even act like a diva throughout the whole preparation period. And then showtime comes, the spotlight is on them, and then they just freeze. That's how I feel sometimes when I go to sit in front of my computer. So I know my journal and my pen are my best friend when I need to have a productive writing session. You, my friend, might be a natural talker. Maybe pen and paper isn't your thing. Maybe your computer and laptop isn't your thing. But when you speak, all of your ideas flow. Your message is extremely clear. If this sounds like you, why not use dictation methods? There are apps and tools out there where you can just speak into and it will scribe what you speak for you. There are people out there who have literally spoken their book into existence. Lean on your strengths. Find what works for you. There is no wrong way to get your story out. Your book doesn't care whether it was typed, handwritten, dictated, or sketched out in diagrams first. What matters is that it exists. So experiment, try different tools, methods, and approaches. Let's talk about goals, because this is where a lot of aspiring authors get overwhelmed and give up. Set small, attainable goals. Writing a book feels enormous, but writing 200 words today feels like a doable task. The key is to break down this big, scary goal into micro goals that feel manageable. Instead of saying, I'm going to write this book, say, I'm going to write for 15 minutes today. Or I'm going to finish one section of my outline this week. Maybe your goal is writing 300 words. That's less than one typed page. But in a month, that's 9,000 words. In 3 months, you'd have almost 30,000 words. That's a short book right there. Daily goals might work for you, or weekly goals might work better for you. Your goal could be to write one new chapter every 2 weeks, or to complete one major section each month. The important thing is to celebrate these small wins. Don't wait until you have a finished book to feel proud of yourself. Celebrate when you write for 3 days in a row. Celebrate when you write one chapter. Celebrate when you figure out that tricky transition in between sections. This is about progress over perfection. This is about showing up and doing the thing that you said you were going to do. Every word is a victory. Every day you show up is moving you closer to your dream. Moving on to the sixth and final strategy that we'll talk about today. This one might surprise you. If the other strategies that I talked about don't sound appealing, or you've tried them and find that they're just not for you, then maybe this next strategy just might be your answer. Sometimes the solution isn't changing how you write, but changing who writes. I want to talk to you about ghostwriting and collaborations because there's still a misconception out there that if you don't physically type every single word yourself, somehow you're not a real author. That's simply not true. Think about it this way. If you have an incredible message, life-changing wisdom, and stories that can transform lives, does it really matter who helps you get those words on the page? Your ideas, your expertise, your voice. That's what makes the book yours. Professional collaboration can be the perfect solution for people who have amazing content but struggle with the actual writing process. You bring your knowledge and your authentic voice, and you partner with someone who has the writing skills to help you express it clearly and compellingly. Now, if you're considering this route, it's crucial to find the right collaborator. You want someone who connects with you personally, who truly understands the vision of your book, and who enjoys working in your genre or topic area. For instance, I particularly enjoy working on memoirs and books that explore themes of faith, purpose, identity, empowerment, love, friendship, and redemption. When there's that natural connection between the ghostwriter and the subject matter, the collaboration flows so much more smoothly. Remember, getting your message out there is most important. If partnering with a professional writer means your book actually makes it into the world instead of staying stuck in your head, then that's the right choice. So let's recap what we covered today because your book dream doesn't have to feel like punishment, and I simply don't want that for you. I want your book journey to be enjoyable. The first strategy that we talked about was connecting with your deeper why. That soul deep reason that makes this book feel like a calling rather than just another project. In the second strategy, we explored finding your natural writing rhythm because there's no right time to write, just the right time for you. The third strategy that we discussed was romanticizing your writing sessions and turning them into cherished rituals that you actually look forward to. Strategy number 4, we redefined what writing a book looks like, opening up possibilities for different methods and tools that might work better for your unique brain and working style. Strategy number 5, we broke down the overwhelm with small, attainable goals that build momentum instead of creating pressure. And in the sixth strategy, we considered professional collaboration in the form of working with a ghostwriter as a legitimate path to getting your book into the world. So here's what I want you to remember. Struggling with writing doesn't mean that you're not meant to be an author. It just means that you haven't found your method yet. If you're feeling overwhelmed by this process, remember that a book coach can help you uncover and stay connected to your deeper motivation when writing gets tough. They can help you identify your natural writing patterns faster so you avoid months of frustration and guide you toward the method that actually works for your brain and lifestyle. And if you've tried these strategies but still prefer not to write the book yourself, remember that working with a ghostwriter is always an option. You're still the author of your book. You're just partnering with someone who can help you write your story in your authentic voice. The world needs your message. The world needs your story. So please, please, please do not let the mechanics of writing keep that gift locked inside you. If you'd like support on your book journey, whether that's through book coaching or ghostwriting, I'd love to help you turn your book dream into a reality. You can find my contact information in the description below. I'd love to hear from you. If this video was helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips on writing and self-publishing. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.